Greetings and welcome to BK, Beacon Skin Graphic Design Tech, a media we have been trained, being ignited, and grown towards the world of creativity as far as graphic design is being concerned. So we are going to look at phase one, which is known as basic class. So this is the basic class of graphic designing, and we are going to take into consideration looking at the introduction to graphic designing. Yes, what is graphic designing and what are those careers or the patterns that concern graphic designing. So our introduction, our first day is going to look at graphic design. Now, graphic design is simply the act and practice of communicating ideas and messages through visual and textual content. Now, I will always better say this in other terms. Graphic is simply a discipline of using lines, shapes, and characters to pass across information. So that's what graphic design is all about. Okay, so it will also involve different textures and typography. Yes, permit me, I'll be very kind of touchy about it because this is the basic level and we are going to get the detail. Yes, you want to get the detail of what graphic design is all about and the backbone of it as well. The master class will help you to explore, yes, different routes, yes, to really explore what graphic design is all about. And everything that we're going to be doing here is going to be a touch. Okay, yes, the core of graphic design is being emphasized at the level of the master class. So without withstanding, well, let's look at what are the types of graphic design. Now, the different type of graphic design. So we have what is known as the visual identity design. That is creating visual identities of for companies, organizations. I won't elaborate so much on that. So the first thing is known as visual identity of design. The second type of graphic design is known as print design. Now these are designing materials for print, such as business cards, you understand, right? So at the end, at the level of the master class, we are going to really look at how to design these business cards, the different type of business cards that you can come across, and also to design the brochures and the posters as well. So we're going to design the posters, the magazine as well, as far as the master class is actually being concerned. So every other thing we're going to do in the basic class is more about the tips of graphic design. Then the next type of design is known as the digital design, taking in consideration of the media like website, mobile apps, social media designs as well. Then we have what is known as the motion design. I love this so much. So the motion design graphic, that's animation and specific and special effects for film, television, and digital media, right? So we're going to actually get into consideration on how to create some of these apps, medias, and other icons as well. Then we have what's known as environmental design. That is, we are taking into consideration the environmental aspect, nature, right, or the recent happening to actually come up with design. There's one thing I always say to my students that graphic design is more about creativity. Yes, it is more about creativity. And the moment that you don't appear yourself to be so thoughtful and so imaginable towards the world of creativity, you discover that your design experience will be limited. So now the next type of design is known as information design. That is creating visualization and infographics now to communicate complex information and data. You understand, right? So this is more about summarizing something, not overwriting and scripts and all the rest. Yes, we won't elaborate that much. Then we have the user experience, that is the UX design. You can see that online. Yes, online. So this is designing user-centered experiences for digital products and services. Then we have the user interface design, that is designing the visual aspects of digital products, services like the bottom, the icons, like the phone icons, right? So you can actually be able to design any phone icon that we might have on the screen here. So these are various icons you can be able to design. So there's no difference between, I mean, a certain domain icons might be like a logo for a for an organization. Let me just say that. Then the next thing is known as graphic design elements. So whatever graphic design, yes, we're going to make use of colors, right? We are going to make use of typography. Now, when we talk about typography, this is the selection and arrangement of fonts, and that is to communicate messages or pass across informations. So we're going to see what is actually a color and what is actually a typography. What is actually typography, right? So typography is simply the use of different fonts. Yes. Then now we have imagery. Imagery has to do with the aspect of importing images and all the rest, right? So imagery is the use of images like photography and illustrations to convey meaning, right? Then we have composition, the arrangement of visual elements. We see more about that. We have texture. We want to make something to be more attractive and all the rest. We have space. Now we have the graphic design tools, right? We're going to have what is known as Adobe Creative Cloud. We're going to have the stage. We have the Figma. The Figma is simply a cloud-based design tool for collaborator design and prototyping, right? And we have the Canva, right? I believe we have heard something about Canvas. Yeah, we have been using Canva. So Canva is also a tool that you can able to use to design some like easygoing as well. It's very good. Then we have what's known as the GIM. That is a free and open source raster for graphic editor. You can able to edit some of your graphics here. Yes, we will elaborate on much there because our target here is approximately 10 minutes or 11 minutes, highest 12 minutes of the introduction. Then the next thing is known as graphic design principles. Now talk about graphic design principles. What are these design principles? Some of the design principles are known as the hierarchy, right? It's known as the contrast, negative spacing, we have texture, we have size, and we have value alongside. We have color again. So these are some of the design tools. So we have the balance. Balance has to do with arrangement. We have contrast, reducing like the visuality of an element. Then we have the emphasis, that's creating of a focal point, draw viewers attention. That's emphasis, right? You want to bring something that can able to captivate somebody, can recover someone's attention. That's one thing about graphic design. Now know that all this that I'm saying is for you to understand what graphic design or what we are going to go into. Yes, what you're going to go into as far as graphic design is being concerned. Okay, then now we have some of the graphic design principles known as pattern, right? Pattern has to do with repetition of visual elements, okay? Elements that to create cohesive and harmonized kind of design. It's very good to also have something like patternized kind of design. We're going to see all of this when we're going to get into the practical aspect. Now we have unity. That's the creation of a sense of oneness and coherence in. So it should be kind of congruent in the same way. Then now we have white spacing. Now the type of white spacing why is simply use of negative space. White spacing is like from the word space is like you writing up something and you want it to be a little bit spaced out so that it can be able to be viewed by somebody or by a client or somebody. Now the next aspect that we're going to look at is known as graphic design career path. This is where we are so much interested in as well. Now this subtopic is very, very important because one of the graphic design career path is known as a graphic designer. Okay, so when you get into the world of graphic designing, you become a graphic designer. Okay, and that is a generalized designer who works on a variety of projects, including print, digital, and website or web designing. So at the end, you discover that you will learn so much. That's just an assurance, right? Then we have what's known as art director. Art director is like a senior designer who oversees the visual aspect of the project, campaign, and all the rest. So he can be able to tell you that okay, this is what you're going to do if if you want the best of your product or you want the best of your design. This is what you're going to take into consideration. Yes. Then the next one is known as creative director. More about creativity. Yeah, try to bring out some certain points and say, okay, if you put this and put this, you can able to come up with a very concrete and precise and kind of harmonized and stunted kind of design. Yeah, it's very good. Then we have motion design designers as well. We have the visual designers, who specialize in visual design, including that. So we have what's known as branding. So branding is in graphic design is refers to the process of creating a visual identity for company products or service that reflect its values. mission, and personality. So a brand visual. So the Square brand is very important. Then now we talk about the elements of brand. Now the elements of branding, we can talk about logo, right? When we talk about logo, so we're going in the class, we're going to do at least in the basic class that we're going to start with, we're going to have what is known as the first logo. We're going to make a logo, yes, except but in the master class, we're going to have a very good kind of logos, like complicated logos. We're going to do what's known as stunted logos as well. So many logos and variety of that. So we're going to see that. Now we talk about color scheme. Color scheme, we're going to see that in next class what color schemes are all about. That is the application of color wheel, combining of different colors to bring out different type of colors and a different type of colors in the color wheel. So with that, we talk about principle of effective branding, which is known as consistency. Consistency is the key of building a strong brand image, right? Now talk about simplicity. Yeah, the design should not be that kind of choked up and all the ways. At least it should be free and easy to what being captivated by. Yeah. Then we talk about uniqueness. We talk about authenticity. It should be real. Okay. Then we talk about flexibility. It should be flexible enough like to use across various platforms. Okay. Then we have tools of software. You can use Adobe Creative Cloud. You can download this. You can send Adobe Creative Cloud. You can design, sketch, and all the rest. Uh, so uh, we can talk about common branding mistakes like inconsistency, lack of uniqueness, and poor quality. We have packaging in graphic design. Design refers to process of creating visual elements that surround and protect a product, such as label, boxes, bags, and all the rest. So in a master class, this particular aspect cannot be done at the level of the basic class. So this is actually a master class lesson. So with that, this we are already out of our range, and I will give you an assignment for you to do, and we are going to apply this in our next class. So in our next class, we are going to download two apps from our Google Play. So you're going to go to your Google app. You are going to download what is known as Pixel app. So this is an app that we are going to use. Sorry if my connection is not there, but when you get to your app, you're going to download this. I'll just type it here. You're going to download what's known as Pixel app. Pixel app. This Pixel app and background background remover remover. So these are the two apps that we're going to download in our next class. Yes. So with that, so this is the Pixel app that we're talking about here. So when you download it, you're going to have this particular. So this is the icon on the Pixel app. Yes. Then the next app we are going to also download is known as background. Okay, so you're going to download that background remover, right? Yeah, this is the app here, background remover. So you download all these for our next class. We are going to start now with the practical aspect of it. So you have to seize the opportunity. Graphic designing is actually a very important aspect if you want to really grow. Yes, and also be a pro in graphic design. You need to start from somewhere. It's an opportunity for you to actually seize as well. Yes, it has a lot. It's a very good career. Okay, so looking up to see you in our next class.